Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Cohn phone. Grant Cohn. We did one yesterday. I figured I'd do another one today because some people can't talk on Saturdays. Some people would rather talk on Sundays. I got a haircut yesterday. It's a little off, but no, it's good. I don't know. I might have put like body wash in it instead of shampoo, but I think I wanted to show that. I wanted basically you guys to look at my haircut and then call in and tell me what you think. That's what the show's about today. No, we're going to talk about week one. It starts we've been like complaining a lot, talking big picture. Let's talk about the Steelers. How about that? There's an interesting team because the Niners are better than the Steelers. The Niners should beat the Steelers. But if you look into them, they're very interesting. Like they have a young quarterback, kind of like Purdy and Kenny Pickett. And they started last year like 2-6. Then they had a bye week. And then they finished 7-2, which is interesting. So they finished very hot. Their defense is, they have 2 edge rushers. They have one of the best run defenses in the league. They have some pretty good DBs. They have a really good free safety. The Niners should beat them. But it's a real road game. Niners didn't play that many of those last year. And you know the issues the Niners have. So it's a game the Niners should win. They're favored to win on the road, but slow starting team. Last year, week 1, the Steelers beat the Bengals in overtime. So, I don't know. Curious to see what you guys think. We got Niner Gang first, then the window after that. Call in. The link is pinned to the chat box. Yeah, call in. Niner Gang. Good to see you again.
What's going on, Grant? How we doing? 2 days in a row,
I'm doing 2 days in a row, man. You got all the time in the world today. What's on your mind?
Oh, man, I'm going to move past all the negative, regardless with Bosa, whatever's going on there. And you know what? Let's root for him, man. Let's go. Niners got to win. We got to start off strong. Like you said, man, they got a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bosa or not, I think we should win it. It's going to be fun watching.
What's your biggest concern heading into this game?
The O-line. Protecting
the O-line.
Protecting Brock. 100% worried. I don't want Brock to try to do too much. We have all these weapons. Use them. If it's not there, throw it away. Don't try to run around. Don't take no chances. It's the first game. Go out there, play smart, use those weapons that we have. He has so many weapons at disposal. There's no reason he needs to be out there taking hits. Let's just put it that way. But if that O-line doesn't hold up, it's not his fault.
I got a matchup to watch for you. Colton McKivitz versus Alex Highsmith. Highsmith last year had 14.5 sacks. So we'll see.
Colton's got me concerned. I felt last year he was probably neck and neck with McGlinchey, but that's not saying a lot though, But we'll see. Hopefully they learn something from the Eagles game. And if that guy is that good, get him some help over there. Get Colton some help over there. Don't make him do it by himself. Throw Juszczyk in the back. Let Juszczyk be that extra protection for Brock. And like I said, let's just use these weapons and let's get Brock out of there clean. Let's try to get him no hits. I think he's going to get hit 3 or 4 times, but we'll see. What do you think?
It's going to be tough for the Niners because, again, the Steelers have a good run defense.
Yes.
And they want to, basically make you one-dimensional and then make you block their pass rush, which the Niners can't do. So this is going to be a really important game for Kyle Shanahan to scheme up all the little screen passes to Deebo Samuel that he can think of. All the little, like the Jimmy Gimmies we used to call them when the Niners would play the Rams and they knew they couldn't really block Aaron Donald. There would be a million different ways to get the ball out of Jimmy Garoppolo's hands. Some little dinky pass behind the line of scrimmage. It's got to be a lot of that in this game.
Dink and dunk, right?
You got to dink and dunk. We need the Jimmy Gimmies for Brock.
How many? Okay. Over under 2 7-step drops for Brock.
Why even do any? Yeah, but they're going to. It just seems like a big mistake.
100% big mistake. TJ Watt's going to get after him. He's going to get after him, and hopefully Trent, he's ready. We start off a little slow. Hopefully he's ready over there on the left side. But I think they're going to.
Can we talk about TJ Watt for a second?
Yeah.
TJ Watt, right? Like, great player. He was the defensive player of the year in 2021. At 27 years old, he had 22.5 sacks. Just a phenomenal. He was kind of like Nick Bosa.
Yep.
3 years in a row, he was top 3 defensive player of the year. Then last year at 28, 10 games played, 5.5 sacks. The same kind of thing happened to J.J. Watt. He was like the greatest player ever from 22 to 26. Then his body started breaking down at 27. TJ Watt, I don't know if his body's breaking down, but it wasn't really all there last year at 28. Joey Bosa's body's kind of breaking down. He's 27. Is anyone a little worried about Nick Bosa giving him 5-year deal? Anyone? No?
I am.
Anyone?
I am.
I'm a little nervous.
He's had 2 ACLs.
Yeah. Core muscle.
He started off last year. I was kind of like, how did he get defensive player of the year? He had good, 12 weeks, 13 weeks. What happened to the rest of the end of the season?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm a little nervous. I mean, you're giving him quarterback money, but quarterbacks play well into their 30s. Is Bosa going to play well into his 30s? His brother isn't. Has it? I mean, TJ, JJ, I don't know.
You can't. It's kind of like the running back thing. These guys are constant impact players, taking impact. They don't hold up, to your point, like quarterbacks.
Scary.
Quarterback.
Remember how he got his ACL torn 3 years ago? It was like after a play, just got rolled up on.
Yep.
It's like
in the position he plays and the way the Niners play football.
Scary.
We're the most injury-prone team in the NFL. We play violent football.
Yeah.
Okay. And
so
they don't have.
I don't know.
And the D-line, they don't have enough rotational pieces, I think, to rest Bosa and, rotate those players in and out to where it's almost inevitable that he's going to sustain an injury.
I got people waiting in the chat, so I got to start moving this up. I got one question for you before we go.
Yo.
If Bosa doesn't play, if he sits out week 1 the way Chris Jones might sit out week 1 for the Chiefs, who you picking?
I'm still riding with my Niners all the way because with or without Bosa, I think we can hold up because as long as that, I think our offense is going to carry us a little bit this year. We're going to have to be very dependent on that offense. So let's see what you got, Shanny.
Let's see what you got. All right, man. Good to see you. Thank you for calling in. All right. We got the window next, then Karan, then Zach. So hang tight, Zach and Karan. I know Karan's outside hanging out in his beautiful backyard. Zach's pulled over somewhere, probably outside a Walmart. What are you thinking? Nah, I don't know. Cracker Barrel, Texas Roadhouse, the window, in front of a window. What a good name. Apropos. What's up?
It's the window.
It's the window.
So, you know how Trent Williams, highest paid left tackle? Everybody else, not good enough. Nick Bosa is going to be the highest paid defensive end. Everybody else, not good enough. Our pass rush against the Chargers last year, 3rd string. We couldn't even get to the quarterback. And then when it was against Dallas, at Dallas, without Bosa, we were still getting to the quarterback. We were still getting sacks. We were still putting pressure.
Amenahue, a couple years ago, yeah.
Right?
It's true.
And then now our O-line can't even block for more than 3 seconds.
No.
I don't get it.
Barely 2.
Yeah.
Barely 2.
I feel like our quarterbacks are going to get hurt. I'm not going to watch Sam Darnold play. It's ridiculous.
The quarterback's going to get hurt, and then the Niners are going to be like, this is so shocking. How could this have happened? I don't get it. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
No.
I feel bad for Brock.
I'm just going to be watching.
Doesn't it kind of say something about what they feel about Brock? The fact that they essentially are spending $1 million on his right tackle. They're like, hey, man, you're our quarterback for right now. And if we thought you were our quarterback of the future, we might protect you, but we're not. We're going to get a right tackle next year. So good luck this year. I don't think that's a good sign for Brock.
I don't know if it's a throwaway year. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I just
feel like if you were really committed to a quarterback, you might protect him.
Yeah. Who's Kyle going to sign up for offensive or QB coach next year?
Me.
Another broadcaster, right?
Yeah. Someone with no experience.
Yeah.
Us. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I got, man. But I don't trust this pass rush. I don't trust this O-line. This team.
Who you picking week 1?
Steelers. That pass rush is going to destroy that O-line we got.
Yeah. They're going to have to get the ball to McCaffrey in the pass game, and McCaffrey and Debo are going to have to catch a lot of passes behind the line of scrimmage and break a whole lot of tackles to win that game. I
see a lot of that. And then the kicker. I mean, what's up with that? We signed somebody. Who did we sign? Steelers backup?
Yeah. Matthew Wright. Something. Yeah, I don't know. Can't wait to see him do his thing. Really excited.
But
he's kicked in Pittsburgh once or twice, so that's fine. He's good.
Yeah, I don't get how they draft these rookies and they put so much pressure on them to, okay, we got the window, let's win the Super Bowl. If you have a quarterback like the Chargers, the window's open for years and years and years and years.
Yeah. Well, this is the structure the Niners want. Great roster, top heavy, veteran roster, and a quarterback on a rookie deal. And this is what we've talked about it a lot. It does seem in theory like it could work. But the problem is your quarterback it's not just good enough that he's cheap. It's not just good enough that he's cheap. He has to actually play well, keep himself healthy behind a bad offensive line. It's rough. Anyway, Window, good to meet you. Nice to talk to you.
Yep. All right. We got Cohn next. Let me get some of these super chats real quick. Nathan Flores is September 3rd and still no Bosa deal. I know Kyle expected this though. It's okay. Don't worry. Bill Kennedy says prediction Niners will lose 3 games because of missed PATs or field goal. Is there bad blood between team and Gold? It feels like it, right? I don't know, but it feels like it at this point. Are the Niners like in wasn't this the position that the Cowboys were in last year with that Marr guy? He was a joke. They were, bad spot. Brooks says, I'm in Miami right now. I'll give Prague a hand. I love Miami. Must be so hot right now. But then it just rains randomly at 3 o'clock every time. Member for 4 months. Pissed off, brother Bob. Thank you very much. All right, Cohn, let's talk.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, listen, if the 49ers can't beat that Steelers quarterback, it's Kenny Pickett, right?
Mm-hmm. Kenny Purdy.
Would you say he has the same resume as Brock Purdy?
Yeah, 6'1", half dozen. Yeah, they're pretty similar. Scramble around a little bit, make plays. Not big, don't have big arm. That one guy doesn't have big hands. I can't talk though.
If they can't beat him, they're going to be able to beat Mahomes, Herbert, Allen in the Super Bowl. They're going to be able to beat them. So it's like, okay.
That's why I'm picking. I'm leaning towards the Niners. Like, come on, man. Kenny Pickett. They just faced Kenny Pickett every day in training camp. Every day, picked him off like 19 times.
And if there's any person who would miss a game or 2 games to prove a point, it's Nick Bosa. He doesn't care about money. He's not like Fred Warner. He's not like George Kittle. He was the 2nd pick in the draft. He has money.
Can we stay there for a second? Can we linger on that topic for a second? Because I think you're so right, and I think it's terrifying from the Niners' perspective. From Bosa's perspective, he could say, whatever you say, if you guys don't meet me where I want to be met, let's see you win without me. Let's see what your record is. You want that number 1 seed? You better pay me. He could really hold the Niners hostage right now. Miss more than 1 game to prove a point.
And here's the thing. Chris Jones on the other side of Kansas City.
Uh-oh. Wow. I think the Bosa shut down Cohn. I think it was too real. There you are. You got a phone call, didn't you? It was Nick. See, now I can't hear you. Now you're muted. Leave and come back. He was really making a good point too. It's all right. Zach.
Yo.
Nice shirt. Hell of a shirt.
Dude, thank you. I'm getting ready to go to church.
With the glasses in there, just casually, but not so casually. Really, really good. Love it. Yeah.
Anyways, that was a good point. I feel bad interrupting what he was.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Okay, good. But I just really don't trust Kyle week 1. I think he's not going to have the guys ready, have the guys disciplined. Like Mike Tomlin's going to have his guys. And even with the offensive line, I have literally zero faith in this offensive line. But I think the Steelers are going to get this win. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout or anything, but I think the Steelers are going to get this week 1 against us. And I hope it lights a fire or something, or kind of a wake-up call. But I just don't.
And why? Why? Just because you expect the Niners to just be like their normal week 1 selves where they're not really dialed in?
Yeah, they're not.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
I think they're not going to be ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
simple as that.
Obviously, we have talent. That's that's saying.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to be ready. Like last year against the Bears, they weren't ready. Even the year before against the Lions, we ended up winning, but we almost blew that lead. Like we should have rolled right over. So I don't trust Kyle to have these guys ready. I really don't. And then another thing is the offensive line, dude.
It does seem like his game plans get a lot better as the season goes on, and he has more tape to look at the opposing defense, or you know what I'm like. You're playing an AFC team. Y'all lost. you're playing an AFC team that you don't face very much. They run a 3-4 defense. Could be a little bit of an adventure. I think Zach's gone. Look, is he sneezing? What do you think Zach was thinking at this very moment? All right, Zach. Oh, he's back.
Bad. Well, it is what it is. I should probably get going into church anyways, but I lost you for a second. But
you were going to church? I was guessing, where are you going with that phenomenal shirt? And the answer is church.
Wow. I'm going to church. I got to head in.
Love it. Hey,
now. Right on. Wait,
I love
how
it,
often
dude.
do you do the Cohn phone? Is this like random?
I try to do it on the weekends, but like I don't always do it when I'm on the road because usually I want to like, I don't know.
Are you gonna
Saturdays.
Are you going to be on the road?
Yeah, because they're in Pittsburgh. I don't know. I haven't decided. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, if you do it, I'll be in there.
All right, man. Enjoy church.
Right on.
All right, man. Late. Look, if you are going to go to church, I think you should have to dress like Zach. I think that's money. Nothing against going to church. I mean, I was a bar mitzvah. I had a bar mitzvah, but I didn't get to go like that. There were dress codes and such. All right, Harley, Josh, and Tyler. Tyler, thank you for picking a place to sit in because you're giving me anxiety walking around with the camera up your nose. But now you're looking good. Harley first though. Harley Martinez.
What's up, Grant? How's it going?
What's up? Nice chain. I like your chain.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I got one this weekend. I just look at everyone else's chains, and yours is nice.
Thanks, man. My grandma gave me this.
Thanks.
Hey, but
do you like mine?
I can't really see it.
It's kind of small. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, I got a few questions. How long do I?
3 minutes. 4 if you like my chain.
I like your chain.
Thank you.
All right. What are the for the Niners? What do you?
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
The keys to win. What do you think the keys to win are?
For the Niners?
Yeah.
Yeah, get the ball out of Brock Purdy's hands as quickly as possible. Lot of quick passes. Don't let the Steelers D-line win the game. Don't let their front seven win the game. I don't know how well the Niners are going to run the ball, but you might just have to run it to like keep them honest.
Yeah.
Churn out 4 yards of carry and win ugly. I don't know if you're just going to drop back and score 35 points on this defense. Like you could try, but I think that's what they tried to do against the Eagles, and it didn't work out so good. So be careful on offense. Like this is Brock's first real game. Oh, yeah. Don't get him hurt in week 1. Don't get Brock hurt in week 1. Get the ball out of his freaking hands now, fast.
A post that I seen that said like the two top deep going at it pretty much. I think the keys to win, if they're gonna throw the ball, throw it short at first, like in the first half, and then throw it deep. It's like to get defenses to rally short, and they're not gonna expect to throw deep. You know what I mean? Kind of
yeah.
I think
7-step drops from under center. As the Niners need to run as many 7-step drops from under center. Just kidding.
Hey,
don't do that.
On the right side.
Yeah. Yeah. Block Alex Heis. What's his name? Alex Highsmith. Yeah, block him with Ross Dwelly. That's the key.
Sure. Yeah.
Prove that you were right, Kyle. Do it again.
All right. Who can
first play? Say it again.
1-on-1. Who can cover George Pickens? On our roster. Ward. I don't like that matchup for Lenore because Pickens is like 6'3" and Lenore's like 5'10". So you seem
we'll
like
see.
Great too. George Pickens, like his catch rate.
Yeah, he's good. So yeah, Ward. You got to get Ward. Ward.
Who do you think is scoring the first touchdown for the 49er?
Good question. Ayuk.
Think so. BA?
Here's why. Because the Steelers gave up 7 rushing touchdowns last year. 7. How do I know that? I looked it up an hour ago. I'm a Steelers expert. I watched all their games. No, I looked it up an hour ago. So if the Niners aren't going to be scoring that way in this game, per se, probably going to have to throw it in. Is Kittle going to play? I don't know.
Elijah
so going Ayuk.
Not going, huh?
We'll find out. They practice tomorrow. You think Bosa's going to be there tomorrow? At practice?
I don't know.
I don't.
Did they sign him tonight? Is there?
I don't know.
All right. What do you think the matchup to watch for the game?
Say it again. The matchup to watch?
Yeah, the matchup to watch.
Alex Highsmith versus Colton McKivitz is 1. And then I would have to say like Christian McCaffrey against whoever those middle linebackers are in coverage. And then on the other end, I like that Lenore against Pickens. That's a big one.
Okay. Lenore and Pickens. I'm going to be watching that.
One more. Then I got to go to the next one.
All right. I want to say something too.
All right, say something.
So interesting fact. I'm from Merced. It's a small town in California. David Perales got he came to Merced High and he got drafted to the Steelers. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's on the practice squad. So shout out to David Perales. Look on the practice squad. He came from Merced High. Actually.
Nice, man. That's off 99, right?
Yeah, off 99 here.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right.
Later.
Yes.
You too. All right, Josh Wyatt, Tyler, Samuel, Big Mo. You look like you probably gonna have something good to say, but you got to put that whatever you smoking out. But you got like 10 minutes, so you good. You got like 10 minutes. I'm chilling. What's up, Josh?
How you been, my man?
Good, man. It's been a long time. How you doing? You were just waiting for the season. You're like letting all the bullshit end, and now it's ready. All right, I respect it.
So here's the thing about that, right? Is that this offseason has been a total sham, right?
Yeah,
like
the whole thing.
The whole thing.
They're
was
like,
a fraud.
look over here. When really you're supposed to be looking over here.
Right?
It's like
we
three-card Monty.
Resolved the only thing that mattered in this offseason, which was the Nick Bosa contract. That's
and the kicker.
Right. And so so here we are, like 5-6 days from week one, and we're still no closer.
The one thing you had to do for your summer homework, the one assignment you had,
right? And
you didn't do it.
I love that Kyle Shanahan is wrapping his arms around Brock Purdy, like wrapping his arms, giving him a big old hug. I've been waiting 7 years for somebody for Shanahan to wrap his arm around the quarterback and say, "This is my guy, and I'm going to live and die with him." Not because I want to see him die with Brock Purdy. I want to see Brock Purdy succeed, but I want Shanahan to be responsible for the quarterback in the room, and he's always had an out. He's always had an excuse.
It's not the guy I wanted. I wanted Kirk, but they wanted Jimmy. You know, all that. Yeah. Maybe I wanted Mac Jones more than Trey Lance. I'll never really say. Yeah.
So here's the thing. He doesn't get an out for performance. If Brock Purdy isn't the guy he said he was, he doesn't get an out for that. And he doesn't get an out for injury either. If he can't keep Brock Purdy healthy, that is on him. Yep. Because if he learned his lesson from last year, he's got to change the way that he does things. Fine, you get a pass. Your tight end missed a block, whatever. Guess who's rushing from the right side week one? TJ Watt.
Yeah.
If we have another play where Brock Purdy's in a 7-step drop and TJ Watt is supposed to be handled by a tight end or a chipping running back.
Or Colton McKivitz.
Dear Lord. I mean, if they do that, TJ Watt will. I mean, that guy, that's their Bosa. He will destroy Brock Purdy.
And the other guy on the other side had 14.5 sacks. So I mean, they can take turns. They probably both want a little bit of Colton McKivitz, because you know what Colton McKivitz is from a defensive end's perspective? Payday.
Yeah,
a payday. I'm getting paid this week. Oh, I'm putting up numbers this week.
It's like when Jordan would see a backup. When Jordan would see a backup was covering him, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, 50. I'm going for 50."
And like Highsmith's going to go to the D coordinator and be like, "It's not fair that TJ Watt gets to go against McKivitz. Can I get some McKivitz snaps? I want to feed my family too. Honestly, I want to feed my family too. This is ridiculous. Let me get some McKivitz action." That's who he is. He's the green light.
So that's the thing, right? They didn't put the resources into offensive line. They put the resources into this ridiculous Hardgrave signing, which is somehow admitting the Buckner mistake, but at the same time allocating resources they don't have, assuming that they're budgeted for Nick Bosa. Like, you can budget for that. That should have been the first thing. That they shouldn't have signed or done a damn thing until they got Nick Bosa taken care of. And
they could have got Nick Bosa taken care of last year. They could have signed him. There's no rule against it. But this is how the Niners like to do business. You like to draw it out to the end. Like, you could possibly win this negotiation. Cool. You better have him on the field week one. If you lose week one and he's not out there, first of all, his price just went up. Second of all, everyone thinks you're really incompetent.
They're at a crossroads right now, because if Kyle Shanahan has learned his lesson and Brock Purdy really is his guy, they could go on a really good run this year. The NFC is still weak. I mean, look for a team. Is it the New York Giants? Is it the Lions? The Eagles have taken a step back. Do you believe in the Cowboys? Is Seattle for real? The Niners are the only real team in the NFC this year. The path is right there. It's right there in front of them.
The NFC is so much worse than the AFC. So much worse.
Absolutely. They could be a 15-2 dominant team rolling through the playoffs with everything in front of them, or they could get their quarterback injured in week 1. They don't get their D end dealt with. Nick Bosa has a bad year because he's now not in shape. There's all kinds of things that could just They have no offensive line depth. They could have 1 or 2 guys go down on the offensive line. And now we're looking at 10-7, and we're on the road in the playoffs, and it's a tough road, and we get knocked out in the divisional. And it's another year inside this window where we didn't get it together. And we don't have that many more years in this window. And Kyle Shanahan needs to be responsible for that outcome. He is the shepherd of this team. He's the guy who's guiding them to the finish line. This is a now or never year. You got to go. You can't just sit there and say, well, we have more excuses. We had injuries. We had this. I don't want to hear none of that this year. They've got their guy at quarterback. They've got a down. They got
the weakest
division.
NFC. Yeah,
they've got a down conference.
Like 2 teams in their own division that are tanking, not just one.
They call their own roster the best in the NFL. They're so proud of themselves.
They got the best coach. They got the best coach. Yeah, they got it all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and I want to see it week 1 this year. I don't want to see any more of this ridiculous, let's be last year's team, let's make mistakes, let's take a while to speed up or get into groove or whatever it is that they do. We need to beat the hell out of the Steelers week 1, make a statement, and go on a run, because they've told us everything is set up for that. And it's time to go, man. I'm jacked for this year, but it could turn real quick.
Hey, Josh, I just want to say one thing before you go.
What's that?
Wayne's World, party time, excellent. Hey, thanks for calling in, man. You look just like Wayne from Wayne's World. I appreciate it. With the hat. Dude, I'm sorry. I had to do it. I was thinking it the whole time. When did it hit you that he was dressed just like Wayne from Wayne's World? 3 minutes in? 2 minutes in? If you go back and you notice I was typing, I was looking up Wayne just to make sure I was. And yes, he looked just like him. Karan, let's talk.
2 minutes in.
Okay, 2 minutes in.
The I don't know how much you call, but the other thing that I think people could be missing is that it could be the guarantees that are the holdup. Nick could be like, I want X amount guaranteed, and Parag has been really good about not making guaranteed money.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting.
Bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, right? He's that guy.
No. I'm not bet on myself.
No. Did you see what happened to J.J. Watt when he turned 27? No. His whole body exploded. No, I'm not doing that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, couldn't he just play out this contract and the Niners could be like, we'll trade you in the offseason if if money is what you want? Or do you think that's too much of a risk for Nick?
It's possible. I mean, the guarantees, though, it seems like the more high profile players are asking for more guaranteed money, and it's not going to be that long before someone like him asks for a fully guaranteed contract or damn near it. So good luck.
I think as much as I like Nick Bosa, I just think having that much money tied to someone in that position is
scary.
It's scary. And
look at his brother.
Correct.
Look at his brother. He's 2 years older than Nick and did nothing last year. 2.5 sacks.
Nothing.
Scary.
Nothing. The one thing I'll say is that this whole entire 6 or 7 year journey, I think the Niners has been caught in the middle. They've never really fully committed to a rebuild versus being a contender. And I think once they jumped that year in 2019, I think they've tried to kind of skip steps. And I think they should have just, looking back upon it, they should have just bit the bullet and just found their quarterback. And I feel like they would have been better. Now they're playing with borrowed time, which Brock Purdy may give them a few more years, but he may not.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens.
True. The way they protect their quarterbacks, it could be Sam Darnold.
They just never went all in.
Quicker.
They never went all in, and they traded those first round picks for Trey, where they could have gotten the players, and they would have been fine. Or they could have traded Trey, done the rebuild, and they would have been better. They would have been what the Steelers are this year, an up-and-coming team that everyone's picking to do well.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, really, if they believe in this core as much as they say they do, they could have just stuck with Jimmy, given him Micah Parsons and whatever else, Tristan Wirfs, whatever else, and won. But they didn't do that. Yeah, you're right. They kind of were like caught halfway in, halfway out. Yeah. They were doing the hokey pokey and they turned themselves around, but they didn't win the Super Bowl, which is what it's all about. It's on them.
And for those younger, this definitely is eerily, and I don't want to. It just has 2014 vibes again.
Big time.
I don't like it. Don't like
Big
it.
time.
Don't like it.
See you, man. Good call. Later. Let's see what we got. Pissed off, Brother Bob says week 1 we win in a right field goal. Then he then replaces Jake Moody. That would be really funny. Josh Wyatt, a member. Okay. Bill Kennedy says great haircut. I'm concerned about week 1 injuries. Thank you about my haircut. I'm not concerned because you like my haircut. Ezio Sanchez says tired of the negativity. Our window is open as long as we have use check and Taylor Pepper. He said Taylor Pepper. By the way, did you get a haircut, Grant? I did. Thank you for noticing. I really appreciate you guys noticing that. I didn't even mention it. I didn't even say anything about my haircut or my chain. You guys just spontaneously mentioned it. And I appreciate unsolicited compliments. They're the best. Tyler, let's go.
Hey, Grant. How you doing?
You have a nice haircut, man.
Thank you. I just got one a couple days ago myself.
I could tell. It looks great.
I've been wanting to...
That's a Friday haircut.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I've been wanting to call in for a while. I got stage fright, so I've been that's why I've been a little hesitant coming on.
You're doing great so far.
I fell off on the bike, but
see now it settles you in. You see a guy fall on a bike. All right, let's talk.
So I've been thinking this from what we said, that everything that this team has to win in a perfect scenario, all ways possible. What I concluded is this team has one plan. That's plan A. And once plan A goes away, they don't have plan B ever. So
that's true.
So plan A is Brock being healthy all year for the most part. Because once plan B happens, it's Sam Darnold. And we know that we don't trust Sam Darnold at all. So if we go to plan B, how many games do you think this team will realistically win?
I mean, depends how quickly that's upon us. But I don't see Sam Darnold winning any playoff games or taking the Niners to the playoffs if he has to start sooner than November.
So around Thanksgiving, around the
like if Brock gets hurt week 1 and Darnold has to go the rest of the year, I could see the Niners winning 6 games, maybe 7.
And that's what I'm thinking too. And I know how we say that also this team is how we have a bunch of players that are top end players that we have no depth, correct? Like Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, who's already hurt, and Fred Warner, all these guys. If one of them goes down, I think that this team doesn't win more than 5 games. Especially Williams.
Yikes. No, dude, if Trent Williams goes down, the Niners will have the cheapest, worst offensive line ever.
And that scares me.
Jalen Moore and Colton McKivitz on the same line? Come on. Super Bowl. Tyler, I got to take more calls, man, but I just want you to know you did a great job.
Thank you.
Calling again.
I will.
All right, man. See ya. All right, Samuel, Big Mo, Easy, Kyle, and then Novin. Big Mo's pissed. He wants to go next. Sorry, but Sam was here first. Sam has been waiting. Hold on. The cut you got in Mexico City last year was legit. It was legit. It was real quick. Let me talk about this haircut I got in Mexico City last year. So it was the lady who worked at the counter. None of that. She didn't speak English. I didn't speak Spanish. I said I wanted a fade. She was like, "Well, I'll do it myself." I don't even know if but she gave me the nicest fade. We never actually communicated. And then she gave me a head rub after, the little shampoo head rub. It was like $10. It was $10. It was the best haircut I've ever had. I got to go back to Mexico City and find that lady and say, I want one more. One more. It was a great time. I'll never forget it. Fernando. Okay, Samuel, what's up?
What's up, Grant?
What's up, man? Where you calling from?
From Roseville, over up near Sac.
Okay, I like it. I know where that is.
Yeah.
That's where. Isn't that where Ryan lives? Ryan G. Hensley. Anyway, what's up?
I think so. I think you live over
so.
in Rockland, so like about
like
15, 20 minutes away from me. I've been like watching for like 3 years, been wanting to call, but like finally been able to catch one.
You had stage right too, huh? Well, I can't tell.
Nah, I mean,
hey, no, like man, no. I was busy. I had things to do.
Exactly.
I feel you.
Come on. I can't be on the same call as Grant Cohn. Like, come on, like one of the best looking men alive.
Thank you so much. More people need to acknowledge that. All right, Sammy, what are you talking about?
I know. Okay. So I was just like thinking, and Kyle Shanahan at the end of the year, if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, he's gonna get fired. I don't know if Jed like really can do that.
I don't know.
But I think that he should, at least. From my opinion, I think that he should. And there's 2 reasons for that. One is, as we always do, we fall short. NFC Championship game, like lose a lot, miss like a lot of injuries, miss the playoffs. Or like even go to the Super Bowl and lose because we just don't have the quarterback to like put up with Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. Well, Jalen Hurts not gonna be in the Super Bowl, but like Josh Allen,
Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, one of those guys will
be. Just like throw a name out there. And then the other one is Brock Purdy gets injured. And the reason for that is like if Brock Purdy gets injured, then it just shows that no year Kyle Shanahan cannot keep his quarterback healthy. And that's a head coach problem. He needs to build the O-line, make sure that they're not able to, like, the defense is not able to go and actually smack the quarterback enough to hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if that happens, then I feel like if Brock Purdy gets injured or they fall short like they usually do, and I'm a 49ers fan. I hate saying that they fall short. Hate it. But,
I know. But it does feel like a crossroads. We'll see.
Exactly.
I mean, if they miss the playoffs, I think he's done.
Yeah.
If they make the playoffs and lose in the first round, I think he's done. So I think he has to at least they could get back to the NFC Championship game and lose, and depending on how they lose, he could be done. If they make it to the Super Bowl, I don't know if the Yorks have the guts to pull the trigger. But again, depending on how they lose, if they lose, I could see it. Samuel, good call. You got anything else you want to say before I move on?
No, I mean, have a great day.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day in Roseville, man. Take care.
Later.
Peace. All right, man. Big Mo Easy. Big Mo Easy. What's up? What's up?
What is happening, brother?
Where are you calling from?
All right, man. I just want to say, first off, thank you for having me on.
All right.
Second off, I just want to say I love what you and your dad are doing, man. I love the people you have on your show. Keep it real vibes. You know what I'm saying? I like the keep it realness, because you know what the problem with our fan base is? Everybody's so caught up in loving the fan base so damn much that nobody's want to keep it real and see exactly what the hell is going on right in front of their face, my brother. I don't know what is happening right now. I got something for you. 3 letters. You ready for this one? E-G-O. Ego. Yep. That is what's stopping the team this year. That is what's been stopping the team. The egos of the quarterback. The egos of the head coach. The egos of the GM. The egos of the ownership. Thinking that they got everything in line and everything in place. You know what, man? I've been a Niner fan since I was 6 years old, brother. Man, this is chaos right now. I got 3 more letters for you, Grant. WTF, baby. WTF.
I gotta agree with you about the ego thing, man. Like, this is Kyle's issue. Is why did he lose the Super Bowl with Atlanta? Ego. How did he blow a 10-point lead with the Niners against the Chiefs? Ego. How has he not figured out his quarterback situation? Every time. He's more. What's most important for him is not what's best for the team. It's what's best for his ego and his legacy. That's my problem with him.
And that's my biggest problem too. You know, it's like, you know, as a Niner fan, man, I love this team, bro. Look, I'm wearing Niner stuff still, bro. And bro, I'm pissed, Grant. Yeah. I am pissed, bro. From a Niner fan, 40 plus years, bro, I am legitimately pissed off. Dude, I have never seen it going like this. Dude, we're going into the season with no cohesion, no synergy. No. Bro, it is like, bro, we got a torn locker room. No matter what they're saying in public, dude, if you played sports or you know anything about sports, you know that this ain't it, brother. This ain't it.
Yeah, and you got Bosa kind of keeping the Niners. I don't know what he's doing, but I mean, if he doesn't play week 1 and the Niners start losing, jeez.
Okay, so let's keep it real. We got Nick Bosa problems, number one. We got O-line problems. We got second string, third string quarterback problems. We got first string elbow quarterback problems. I mean, bro, we have so many problems going into this season, bro. Like, I am normally the most optimistic guy ever, Grant. Like, I'll be real with you, man. Like, I'm an optimistic person, bro. I grew up in Hawaii, bro. Like, I live a positive attitude. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't it, brother. Like, dude, I'm just glad I got to be on your show because you know what, man? I've been talking to all my friends, all my 49er fans about this stuff. And, bro, this is ridiculous, man. Like, dude, we are playing Pittsburgh week 1. These people do not realize Mike Tomlin do not play. He will have his team ready to go and fire off on our asses. Dude, we look like crap right now. And, dude, and the way the O-line is playing, bro, we are going to be so lucky if we get Purdy out of that game week 1 without T.J. Watt or Mika Fitzpatrick coming around that edge and blasting his elbow. You know what? And I don't even want to say that because I don't want to put that shit out there. But the reality of the situation is that, bro, dude, this ain't it, Grant. This ain't it. And my love for the team is strong, but this ain't it, bro. This is not it.
Good call, Big Mo. Got to take more, but you killed it, man. Where you calling from?
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Oh, I'm calling. Where you calling from? I'm from Maui, Hawaii, but I'm living in Las Vegas now. But I come out to the Bay to watch the games, man. You know, I rep the team. But, dude, I told my boys this year, man, I probably might not even buy no tickets, bro. Like, straight up. That's how I feel, man. I might not no games this year, bro. Like,
all right, man.
Hey,
good stuff. Thank you.
Love you, Dad. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man. Big Mo Easy is boycotting the 49ers. You heard it here. He's fucking boycotting. No tickets for Big Mo Easy. That's it. 40 plus years Niner fan. He's fucking done. No tickets for Big Mo Easy. He's out. How do you feel, Kyle? How do you feel, John? You drove away Big Mo Easy. Not easy to do, but you did it. Shady Luke says, should be a good game. Niners are clearly better, but Tomlin is a great coach with young players. The scary potential Mink is going to be lurking. Pissed off, Brother Bob says, no, Big Mo, I'm pissed off. How dare you? It's true. That is your name. Kyle, a.k.a. Pandango. What's up?
How's it going, bud?
Clearly at work right now.
Yeah.
Sneaking away. That's okay. I won't tell on you. No one knows that you're on the show.
I'm glad.
You're the boss. I bet you're the boss. It's okay.
So I'm from I'm from Brea. That's where I'm calling from. It's
nice.
I'm near California.
I know it is. I played a baseball tournament there when I was 16.
Nice.
Good times.
So I have 3 things I wanted to talk to you about because I know that I've been watching you for the last couple of years and it's been fun, you know. And
Thank you.
One of the things that we both agree on is right now, you know, the feel of the season is different than last year. It is. I would say that one of the biggest things that I'm concerned about is, you know, we used to get the YouTube videos of how hard practices were. We had the people would come out, they would show. It was like almost like Hard Knocks of us. Like, yeah, all the stuff was going on. This year, radio silence. We're barely getting any media. They're not talking how hard they're going to be going. You know, they're not showing it. For the whole season I've been watching on the off season is like, we're just not there. Our heart's not in it. We're not what we were last year. We can talk a big talk, but the whole morale of the entire internet and it's just been down. It's not the Niners we know of.
And you know, the Niners always change it. Like at the trade deadline, they trade for someone. They change the whole season. But this year, it's like it's going to be Nick Bosa's coming back, yeah, or like Robbie Gould is coming back. He's going to save you. Like I don't know, man. It does feel bad. And now that the caller earlier, Karan, kind of pointed out that Bosa could be holding out some games to prove a point if the Niners don't give him what he wants. God, that's diabolical. I mean, because it could work. It just might work, man. If he sits out the first few games and they lose, like, oh my God, there's desperation to bring him back, and his price tag goes up.
Yeah. Then we also have everybody talking about depth, right? You know, and the big thing about our defense. Well, right now our defense can't stop the run. We showed that in preseason, even with our starters. So that, you know, and that's what we invested so much with Hargrave, and they were boasting about at the very end, you know, beginning of the offseason, how we're gonna do our front line's gonna be that's gonna be our big selling point. That's what we're putting money into. And then preseason games hit, and we get our ass kicked. They rushing us down more than we've ever had before when we had less.
Still can't stop mobile quarterbacks. Russell Wilson running around looking like he's 25. Yeah.
And then the last
thing. Did you know that Russell Wilson is 18-4 against the Niners in his career? How?
No idea.
That's incredible. 18-4. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, though. Neither here nor there. What was your last thing you're going to say?
Last thing is, I don't know about you guys. So I am, in terms of the quarterback situation, I believed in Lance when they brought him in. Okay, so, it's going to take some years to develop the guy. Let's get him out there. Gets injured, and that happens. Jimmy Garoppolo got injured. I wasn't a pro Jimmy, but I understand their offense is not about throwing the long balls. They're short passes, yards after carry. That's what our offense is all about. We're not about, throwing it downfield and 50 plus yards to do that stuff. Brock looks like he's playing Madden right now. He just sits there, takes 2 seconds, dumps it off, and he's rewarded. Oh, he's the number one guy. He's the real deal. Like, realistically, the guy's taking 2 steps and tossing as fast as human possible. He's scared of the pocket collapsing on him, and our O-line can't hold the line. So my concern is, it's not about a quarterback. We're going to have to change our whole dynamic of how we want the line to go and get past this. Forget about our quarterback. We're all about yards after carry.
We're like, forget about our quarterback. We're all about our D line and yards after. Like, okay, all right. Well, let's see what happens when Sam Darnold's playing. Kyle, good call. Get back to work. You're in trouble. You have to go to the principal's office. Good to see you. All right, we got Melvin and then T Bizzle, and we got like 8 minutes left. What's up, Melvin?
What's up, Grant? How you doing?
How you doing? Big Lakers fan, and we all need to know it. It's important.
It's very important. Everyone needs to know.
Very important. Yeah, absolutely.
But big Niner fan too, man. All right, I got 2 things I want to cover with you. Inconsistencies and ramifications of the Cabo click.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
I don't get what the fuck Kyle and John are doing when it comes to how they treat their players, right? This is not a knock on the players. Okay. You trade DeForest Buckner because you're convincing the fan base, like, hey, we can't pay him. We're going to get some picks from him. All right. Wrong player to trade, but fine. We get it. Cap space, whatever.
Right.
Now you're doing it different with Nick Bosa. Now it's like, now you're trying to negotiate. It's like, dude, either trade him or sign him for what he wants. You're being inconsistent with what you did with Buckner. I don't get it.
Right.
You were inconsistent in how you treated Trey and Javon Kinlaw. Not a knock on either players, but you're giving one player plenty of chances and another player you're shipping him out after the amount of capital you spent on him. I don't get that. That doesn't make fucking sense to me. And then the way you treat Trey and Brock and Sam, inconsistent across the board. I don't understand when Kyle says, like, oh, Sam has been doing this and good and Trey doesn't do this. And it's like, you're knocking one player down for something that the other player also did. I don't get that. It doesn't make sense. Sam made the same mistakes that Trey did, and Trey was the only one that suffered for it. I don't get it.
I agree.
Completely inconsistent. I don't understand that. I don't know if John and Kyle are not on the same page, but it's inconsistent, and it's like glaring you in the face, and it's a slap in the face to all the fans. It's ridiculous. I don't get it.
Yeah. Because whenever they explain their reasoning for doing something strange or weird, it doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. And it's completely different from what you said 2-3 years ago. I thought in order to have a good team, you need to have a consistent philosophy. John always talks about his philosophy. Yeah. This is what we want to do on a team. Like, dude, your philosophy changes every 6 months. I don't even know what the fuck your philosophy is anymore.
Yeah, you went from we really need to have like a special quarterback who can like do 11-on-11 football to actually no, we just need a quarterback like Jimmy who's cheap. Like, really? When did you decide that?
Yeah, and inconsistent with Brock and Jimmy too. Jimmy plays 5 games, $150 million right away. Brock plays a couple. It's like, well, we're gonna wait it out. And see. It's like, dude, make up your mind, man. I don't know what you're trying to do anymore. And then the ramifications of the Cabo click, man. I don't think I've ever heard of any NFL coach hanging out with their players like that outside of work. I don't even hang out with my coworkers like that outside of work. It's fucking weird. It's
like you have a family.
Yeah, and it's like that's
you have kids.
Cool with your players, but like going on vacations like that. The consequences of that, what you do, look at the report that came out. It was confirmed that the players were like, we don't want Trey to play. We're good enough with Jimmy. Look what the fuck happened after that. all that capital you spent. And who's Kyle to say, like, well, I still want to go to Cabo with you guys, so I guess so. All right, whatever you say goes. Like, you don't.
It's like he thinks his job security depends on the top 8 players in the team liking him.
Yeah, and it's so stupid. It's like, dude,
we want Kyle as our coach. Okay.
Yeah, even though he's supposed to be the leader.
Yeah, he's like pandering to his highest paid players.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And those players, it's like, dude, you said it. You said it with your dad one time. You're like, you know what Nick Bosa is doing really well? He's shutting the fuck up. That's what players are supposed to do. Shut the fuck up and go out and play. Don't run the fucking team. You're not a GM. You're not a coach. I'm still pissed off about that shit that you said, man. Like, get him on for the amount of money you make and the amount of balls that you touch or snap, like that catches that you make in the air. It doesn't equate. It's not the same. That's also inconsistent. I don't get it.
Yeah, he talks too much for how much they use him. Melvin, good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate the passion. All right. T-Bizzle for Shizzle has just been staring into the camera without blinking for 10 minutes. He's a terrifying person. Shady Justin says, damn, will the real Nick Bosa please sign contract? Yeah. All right, it's the show, man. No T-Bizzle today. Sorry, buddy. No, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Grant?
Manteca's finest.
I'm in South Texas now, bud. Moved, got married.
Wow, so many things happen in the life of T-Bizzle for Shizzle. That is dope. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
Criticism of John and Kyle. Shut up. Shut up. We will never find a coach as good as Kyle and a GM as good as John. Now, they've made some mistakes. Picking Trey, not getting rid of him. Come on. That was what we needed to do. Picking Trey to begin with was ridiculously moronic, and we all knew it when they traded up. Say, oh, you're trading up? The guy gets Justin Fields. Clearly, at the time, consistent number 2 quarterback in all of college football all year long. When he played Trevor Lawrence, he was better than Trevor Lawrence. That was the guy to choose. It was Justin Fields. And if you wanted to go for a pocket passer, it was Mac Jones. Trey Lance's college tape, let's be honest, it was mediocre. He could run up the middle and bulldoze some guys, but he didn't have great tape in college. He had this stat of no interceptions, and he had a great personality. Kyle falls in love with his personality, but he's not a football player. And this idea that we were unfair to him, no, every single time he stepped on the field, he looked scared, he was inconsistent, he didn't look like a football player. But Kyle and John criticism, these guys are elite at what they do, and their players love them. And it's not because they go to Cabo. It's because they see this guy's a genius, and he's a leader, and he's one of the best coaches in all of football. And that's why everyone says that about him. It's because it's true. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't have his flaws. He does. But this criticism of Kyle and John just has to stop. Second of all, I've seen some people talk about how important Trent Williams is for our team. Let me remind you that we would have went to the Super Bowl and beat the Rams if it wasn't for Trent Williams on our team. He was injured. He said he had to play. If we would have had our backup play that game, we would have won, but he was a liability for us. Now, that doesn't mean he's not a great player. He's obviously Hall of Fame, one of the greatest latest left tackles ever. He's way better than what we have to replace him. But a single offensive lineman does not make an offensive line. They have a great pass rusher on the other team. Guess what? They line him up on the other guy, not Trent Williams. Trent Williams is not going to make or break an offensive line. And we don't need – what is Trent Williams great at? He's great at pass blocking and run blocking, right? The rest of our line's pretty good at run blocking. Do we need great pass blockers? No, they're kind of shitty at pass blocking. But we don't have an offense built on long dropbacks where we need a ton of great pass blocking. Trent Williams does not make or break our offensive line. Now, I'm not saying he's not good. He's obviously great. I love the guy. But he is not this hinge piece for us. Brock Purdy. Everyone with eyeballs, the moment he started playing, saw this guy has it. This guy's a baller. This guy's a player. And you're talking about, oh, they changed their philosophy. They used to want a guy who was also mobile and can throw it. Purdy's more mobile than Lance ever was. He's quicker. He's more elusive. He's more agile. He sees the pocket better. He's a great mobile quarterback. Now, is he going to have the top speed of a Colin Kaepernick? No, but his quickness and his elusiveness. We're talking about Russell Wilson going 18-3 or whatever he did. What was that by? Was that because he could run up the middle? Why are you yelling at me?
Why are you yelling at me?
I come on the Cohn phone once every 6 months to make some points. And that's what I'm doing.
Why are you yelling at me? I didn't do anything wrong.
Brock Purdy might not do for the next 10 years what he did the past 8 games, but if he did, he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He might take a shit.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
If he continues to do what he did the past 8 games.
Which you expect him to do. Is that what you expect?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But if he does,
do you expect the Niners to win the Super Bowl this year?
No.
Why? They have the best coach. They have the best general manager. They have a Hall of Famer at quarterback. What are they missing?
We don't have Patrick Mahomes. We don't have Jalen Hurts. We don't have these are some very
You just said he's a Hall of Fame quarterback and that the offensive line doesn't matter.
No. What did I say? I said if
you said he's a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback.
How many Super Bowls did Drew Brees win?
One.
Brock Purdy would be lucky to win one if he continues.
So they have Drew Brees a quarterback. In your words,
if you go back and look at the tape,
but more mobile,
Brock Purdy is
better than Brees, like a better Drew Brees at quarterback.
You're making a mockery of what I'm saying because Brock Purdy has only played 8 games, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to say a guy who's only played 8 games, who's the last in the draft, is great.
Okay,
but if he did for the next 10 years. What he did the past 8 games.
You said he's a baller. It was evident immediately.
Everybody knew that.
So they have a baller at quarterback, the best coach, the best general manager.
If he continues. So
you're not picking him to win the Super Bowl? I'm so disappointed.
Let me tell you why I'm not 100% on them winning the Super Bowl.
And then I got to take the last caller.
It's because we don't know if Brock's going to do what Brock did the past 8 games.
Okay, fair enough.
Take a shit. And the other thing is Steve Wilkes.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Does that?
Takes a shit?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of being a human being. Anyway, keep going.
There was a hilarious Instagram about this little guy.
No. Let's talk Steve Wilkes.
Steve Wilkes. So when we went from D'Amico, or from Solid to D'Amico, I knew that looked good. And a lot of people were concerned about that. But for me, I had an intuition that looked good. For right now, let's move to Steve Wilkes. The X and O's make sense because we've had a weak secondary. He's a secondary specialist. The X's and O's should line up. But I'm very concerned about Steve Wilkes. Our defense, the roster, we added Hargrave. It could be an improved roster, but I'm not sure that we're going to be that good on defense as we all expect because I'm not sure Steve Wilkes is the guy we need on defense.
Okay, thank you very much, T. Bizzle, for shizzle. You made a lot of great points. It was good to see you. Enjoy South Texas. Enjoy it. I feel like he found a home in South Texas. I feel like that's a good spot. Nothing against South Texas. T. Bizzle, offensive line doesn't matter, huh? Yeah. T. Bizzle, man. He just was yelling at me. I was like, he's like, let me tell you something, man. Caplo ENT says Trey Kostas was a total of 42 TDs, no INTs, 3,986 yards. Yes, in a year, not bad. Purdy more athletic than Lance. Wow, great take. The coach just with the face palm. Yeah. I let him go for a while, but eventually I was like, man, you need to stop yelling at me. Like, please. T-Bizzle. For Shizzle. What's up, man?
What's up, Grant? I've been watching.
How you doing?
How now? Good. I've been good. My take on this. So, you see Kyle, his perception is to build running back, D lineman, linebacker, safety, tight ends, all this. But he doesn't focus on what Andy Reid and Bill Belichick look to establish. These great coaches that look to establish a great O-line and then great quarterbacks first. You can't go for the quarterback last. It's not going to work out in your favor. And Kyle, the way he runs his scheme is just – it's not a good way to run a scheme because he gets the quarterback injured almost every single year. He runs a play action, got Jimmy Garoppolo injured off a play action play. Got a D-line.
Slow developing pass plays with a bad offensive line.
And then the O-line, he needs O-linemen to protect. You can't put Tyler Kroft, a second tight end, on Hassan Reddick.
Is Tyler Kroft even in the league anymore? Like, did he get cut?
Dude, I don't even know. He shouldn't be in the league though.
I don't know.
A terrible tight end. But he did.
Like, I don't think he's in the league. Oh no, he's on Miami. Let's see what happens.
A guy like Kittle will block Hassan Reddick or something, but a guy like Tyler Kroft, you cannot rely on him to block Hassan Reddick. And then the third of all, it's like, well, Andy Reid, the foundation he built, a lot of people call Kyle and John Lynch. Yes, John Lynch made a trade from CMC, but did that really help us get over the hump to go win that Super Bowl? It really, the whole thing.
I mean, Because they didn't win the Super Bowl because their quarterback got hurt because they can't keep their quarterback healthy. And you had Christian McCaffrey out there running for his life in the NFC Championship with no quarterback. They're like, hey, Christian, play Wildcat. Yeah. Hey, remember when Christian threw that pass in the NFC Championship game to no one? Yeah. You probably don't, but it happened. There was actually one play where he threw a pass. It was great. Sorry.
Yes, but CMC also has an injury history. But why do you want to trade for a guy who has injury history when you're known for getting players injured? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think John and Kyle are on the same page. Like, I think Jed just needs to blow up this whole front office and then just, like, restart it, because at this point, this Bosa thing is getting out of hands. Parag Marate needs to, like, handle this or something, get it done with. Because without Bosa, we saw what happened in 2020. We didn't have Bosa. Jimmy Garoppolo gets injured. George Kittle gets injured. And we have to rely on Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard, which is like the worst option you can go to.
The Niners aren't that far away from being that team right now. I mean, Bosa's not here. Purdy, one injury away from being at Sam Darnold and no Bosa, which is a 5 or 6 win team.
And then I want to relate to T. Bizzle. For him to say Brock has more athleticism and mobility than Trey Lance, I think that's like a bad take, because Trey Lance is 6'4" and he could run. Like, he talked about Kaepernick. Like, Purdy's nowhere near Kaepernick. Like, I've been watching the 49ers since 2012. Like, Kaepernick,
bad take.
Like, different. Like, he was 6'4", a guy who could just get down the field quick. Like, you're not getting a Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson, but Trey Lance actually had the ability to be a Josh Allen, or like be in the potential to be in one of those quarterbacks. Purdy is just like, you can say he can be a Drew Brees, but I just think he doesn't have the talent to. Like, he's reached his max potential.
Drew Brees was a high second-round pick.
Yeah, Drew Brees, like, he's a lot. Their styles are much different. Like, Brock Purdy is a lot more different than Drew Brees. And I
think young Drew Brees had a stronger arm than Brock Purdy. Like, he mangled his shoulder and came back with a weaker arm. But when he was in San Diego, he was a second-round pick for a reason. I got to take another call. Can you make one more point before you go?
Yeah.
Do you have any more?
And then one, I want to mention Mike Tomlin's going to have his team ready to come. Like, we cannot be sleeping on Tomlin and the Steelers. We cannot be slacking, like, trying to get, like doing this and that, and getting these play action plays. Like, Mike Tomlin's going to have that defense ready. We need Brock Purdy to go. Like, he needs to be ready, because otherwise he could have like a 4-pick game. Like, we could just straight up lose that. So. Yeah,
I think the last time the Niners played the Steelers, they turned the ball over 5 times and won, thanks to Dante Pettis. Yeah. Hey, man, how do you pronounce your name?
Tarun.
Tarun. Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
All right, take care. Last call of the day, Sir JC, who has graciously pulled over. I appreciate you. How you doing? You are muted. There you go.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Let me turn you down.
Man. Oh, yeah, my bad, man. You might need to turn me down.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. All right.
Yeah, man. But I don't know what that guy was talking about, saying, Trent Williams cost him the game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Not giving Deebo Samuels the ball in the fourth quarter. That probably cost him the game. You know what I'm saying? But as far as this Bosa situation, I feel like I would have tried to trade him as soon as the offseason started. Like, once you kind of knew what his number was going to be, me personally, I don't have a problem with a player trying to get his money. Like, try to get your money. But if I'm from the team, as a team perspective, me personally, I don't feel like he's worth $30+ million. Like, Aaron Donald got that because he has 3 Defensive Player of the Years in 4 years. That was almost like a Lifetime Achievement Award they gave him on the Rams. I'm not doubling down.
Look at him now. Look at him now, Sir JC. Look at him now.
Then you got to look at it like, okay, if San Diego could go back, don't you think that they might reevaluate the contract they gave to his brother?
Joey?
Now, I'm not trying to give the triangle theory, because that doesn't necessarily work. But they both have extensive injury histories. Since he got the big money, what has he done in San Diego? What have they done? Nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm looking like I would have tried to probably get my 2 1s back. Probably try to trade him to get my 2 1s back. Or maybe a situation, not necessarily this situation, but if you could have pulled something off, like maybe a Washington for like Chase Young, a 1st and a 2nd, or a 1st and a 3rd, But I would have definitely tried to get multiple picks, high picks, to get another pass rusher, to get an offensive lineman to help fortify that O-line, and not sit here and pay him quarterback money. I'm not mad at him. I just feel like I don't believe he's worth that. I would have tried to trade him. I told my boys they think I'm crazy. I would have traded Kittle, then traded him. I would have traded Juszczyk. I don't know why he's even on the team. Like, what does he do?
I'm with you on that.
He's not Lorenzo Neal, bro. You're not like Lorenzo Neal, the human juggernaut. I see him go in the hole and get his ass sat down at fullback. Yeah. Then what are you doing if you can't lead blocks? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, no, there's nothing against the players, but I just feel like Kittle's always hurt, and he didn't want Lance to play. Well, you didn't even play with Lance to help him get better. Like, you always hurt, and you're hurt now. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Bosa's maximized his body. Like, he's a great athlete, but I don't think he is.
When's it going to start breaking down?
Yeah, he's not like a freak of nature as far as like a Javon Curse or a Von Miller or even a J.J. Watt. Those were like freak athletes. Bosa, he has good genetics with his father and his brother and everything. And also he came up with great resources. He got the teachings and the tutoring 99% of players in his position will never get in high school.
And he's got a great work ethic, and he definitely has maxed out his body. Absolutely. Yes, but when is that body going to break down? 27?
And that's how 28? I feel. That's how I feel. I feel he's plateaued. And some people might say, well, he won Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, but there are degrees to winning Defensive Player of the Year. It's not like we haven't seen these sacks. Alden Smith just got 19 sacks about 10 years ago, right?
Look at TJ Watt. TJ Watt was a Defensive Player of the Year in 2021, 22 and a half sacks. Last year played 10 games, 5.5 sacks. He's 28.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, to give somebody 30 plus
That's
million,
another guy who had all the resources, maxed out his body. TJ Watt, not necessarily a great natural athlete. A lot like
not
Bosa.
Not like his brother. No. His brother goes from tight end to DN in the same game. That's an extreme elite athlete. But Bosa's a great player. I just felt like I would have got rid of him. I would have got rid of Kittle, and I would have got rid of Juszczyk. And to be honest, maybe I was a year early, but I told my boys this 2 years ago. I would have got rid of Debo when he was trying to hold out. Now, I was a year early, but I'd rather be Belichick a year early than a year late, because if you cannot beat a man on a go route, why am I paying you $20+ million as a wide receiver? He's a great football player. But you can't beat anybody. Most DBs are not beating them on the go route, and you can't.
He's not really winning. Which routes are his bread and butter?
One, a bubble screen, a comeback, and a quick
comeback,
and a quick
slant, and a shallow cross. A shallow cross.
Absolutely. And that's to me. That's not $20+ million.
That's not a route tree. Nah, it's not. He's more. He got paid because of what he did at running back. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he did. And I get him. I'm from his perspective. Yeah, if you feel like they're going to use you because McCaffrey wasn't there, I'm not mad at that. Go get your money. But from the team perspective, man, you're not like a traditional number one. I'm going to just send you on the go route, take over the game on a route tree. And then the soft tissue injuries because of his weight and his style of play.
And the drops.
And the drops. Like, people want to sit here and criticize Lance, right? And I got it. He did some good things, some bad things. I went back and watched those starts he made his first year. In the Cardinals game, Deebo drops a wide open bubble screen touchdown. He walks in on the 10-yard line. We don't remember that, right? He dropped another 15, 20-yard pass in the first half.
He fumbled in Chicago.
Fumbled on the goal line in Chicago the first game. We want to act like Trey just went out there and dumped. Nah, man, these dudes was out there not doing their responsibilities as well, man.
Yeah.
So,
JC, good call, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for calling in, man. Have a good one. All right. Ramelia Sports Report says Kyle John said they budgeted for Bosa jokesters. Nathan Flores says backpedaling T Bizzle, all that talk, and then no, we ain't winning. That was surprising. I felt like he was going to come out strong and say they got this. K Jam says it's one thing to say Trey isn't meant to be a quarterback, but when you say he's not a football player altogether, there are some racial undertones. That's the Cohn phone. Thanks for calling in. Back-to-back days. I did this because I was afraid I won't be able to do it Saturday. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh, and I think it's more important for me to like do a food vlog than to do a call-in show from my hotel room. So we'll see. But thanks for calling in, guys. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Niners have practice tomorrow, and I'll be there. Peace.